Hello, welcome to today's program. Gary and I are here today together, my husband, and I'm excited about my new book, Nasty Gets Us Nowhere. We're going to be sharing from that today. Gary, God's done a lot of great things in our marriage over 38 years, hasn't
Absolutely, and our anniversary is this week, actually.
It is.
So it's
yes, happy anniversary
greatly happy
to you.
to you too, my dear. Yes. I love your new book, Nasty Gets Us Nowhere. Just the title catches your attention.
Well, it's about women and men succeeding
Yes.
together, which is the byline to
Sure.
it.
But your wisdom, I've read, of course, I've heard you teaching for 30 years, but this book has so much new information in it. I just love the chapter on the difference between men and women and how they communicate. I thought that was fabulous. And I tell you, anyone that talks to the opposite sex, I think, in business or marriage needs to understand some of the things you have in here.
And you also share in the book, which I really appreciate.
Oh, yes, I have a chapter in your book.
He does a whole
yes.
chapter on what women need to know about men and what men are looking for from women. And that's so crucial because so many times we go into relationships thinking, what I want out of the relationship, what I need out of the relationship, but we don't know how to give what the other person needs. And for us to get what we need out of the relationship, we also need to give what the other person needs. And getting our eyes on how to do that. And I also talk to you single ladies as well, and you single gentlemen. There's a whole chapter on should you get married and how to look for the right person.
Yeah, it's a great book.
And some principles that even we've been taught in the culture that are lies about marriage, about relationships, about can men and women really get along or not. And some of the filters that we all see the opposite sex through because of the lies in the culture. And when you go into the relationship thinking it's not going to work, guess what? It's not going to work because you've already believed a lie before you ever started in the relationship.
Yeah, no, it's fabulous. And the brain difference. I learned a lot from that chapter. That was really
I
interesting.
studied about the brains of men and women, and I was surprised myself to find out
great.
God actually made a man's brain different than He made a woman's brain. And did you know that, right? So there's a lot of ways we think and don't think. So we have to understand a little bit more about how that other person's wired, how they're geared, and what God intended for them to be focused toward because of the way He made their brain.
Exactly.
We are different. We're equal, but we are not the same. And the book explores all of that about how our differences are meant to complement each other, how we work to work together, and how that's a benefit to culture, to family, to business, to society, and everything we pretty much do. And how the enemy's tried to destroy family, marriage, and children because instead of us complimenting one another, we've attacked one another, and the culture's pitted us against each other, and there's agendas. And at the root of that, you teach Fixing the Money Thing. My husband does a program. If you've never seen it, you should check it out. It's called Fixing the Money Thing, and where we both talk sometimes together, but he also does a lot by himself about how to get through the financial problems. And of course, we know finances affect marriage. We talk a little bit in the book about finances and the impact of finances too, but you talk a lot about that. There's always a root. You know, you follow the money, you find the agenda, and the agenda is to divide men and women, to destroy family, to destroy children's lives.
That's right. It's all about really coming against God's plan. Really, that's what it's about. And again, you do a great job laying it out. I mean, I would suggest certainly everyone married should have it for sure. Business relationships, like you said, singles. I mean, I was fascinated by it. And I thought that it was done very well. And certainly nasty doesn't get us anywhere. We're sure of that. So
women and men can succeed together. We're the proof of that.
Amen.
Both of us are complete opposites, and yet we're so very complementary. I remember one time we were eating dinner with somebody, and they said, "You guys, like, you can just fill each other's sentences, and you move almost in one synchronized movement." And I had to laugh because that's not the way it was in the beginning of our marriage at all. Being so opposite, you feel like God brings you together, but then opposites attract, and then oftentimes they attack because we don't understand the difference and the need for the difference. It's a great thing. It's an awesome thing. We cover each other's weaknesses and we build each other up. So it's a good thing, and you can too. You can have a great relationship with the opposite sex, whether it's even also sometimes moms understanding your sons and how they think differently and how their brains work differently. So you're not trying to make them into something they're not, you respect and understand why God made them that way. And same things, dads with daughters. And we need to get this difference, and we need to work together, because women and men can succeed together.
That's
We've
right.
proven it, haven't we?
We have 38 years.
38 years and going. We're going to keep going
Yeah,
and going. So
exactly.
I just want to say thank you for 38 years.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, I honor and respect.
You've
and
taught me a
appreciate
lot. I tell you, you've taught me a lot, and
as
it's
well.
a team effort.
And I know we would not have had the success that we've had financially and in ministry and raising a family if we'd not discovered the things that I share in that.
Well, when we were first married, it was a bit of a shock.
It was.
Because I didn't know
was.
that there's that much difference. I didn't quite know that. It was great to learn how it all worked.
Yes, it is. It is definitely a shock. I think to men more probably than women.
Maybe so. I don't
Because
know.
we I think start in relationship. We look at a gentleman. We're like, I can change that. I'll change that. And women have this checklist in their mind, what they love about the person, but also the things they're going to add. Because think about it this way, women, we were created to come alongside, to be that encouragement and help and a team player. And women are looking for vision from their spouse, and they want to help and be part of that vision and that winning team. So it makes sense that women from the get-go are looking like, how can I add to this person? How can I work with them and help them become their very best? And because we see the great things in them. I know for Gary, I saw, wow, this guy has this and this and this, and I want to add to that. And we see ourselves complementing and coming into the picture of how we can add to them. But it's a big mistake to start out marriage going, I'm going to change this and that about the person.
So how'd that project work out for you?
It's worked out pretty good, actually. I learned about things that didn't need to be changed, though, because you don't want to make the other person who you are. The whole idea is viva la difference. You know, I mean, the difference is what is beautiful about the relationship. So, but men oftentimes, what do men think when they're coming into a marriage? What do they think about the relationship?
Sex.
Okay, he was honest. Okay, so men think it's going to be
fun. I mean,
constant,
men are
easy
looking for a
sex.
companion.
It's going to be companionship.
And sex, by the way, isn't the number one need a man has, which I talk about in the book.
You do.
But men want to share. They're doers. They want a buddy. They want someone to, do things with and share life with. They want a family, and, in a man's world, his world is made up of his kingdom. Men are about the things they own, control. That's just how they're designed. But I always say a man is about his kingdom and his woman. So a woman reflects his glory. He views his wife as a reflection. He takes great pride in his wife as part of. Don't get upset about
that, ladies. That's a good thing.
Yeah, he looks at her as part of his who he is. It's like a reflection. And so he takes great pride in that, and so he gets a lot of comfort in that. But not like owning. Don't misunderstand when I say that. Kingdom.
I understand.
But to a man,
I'm trying to translate for
okay, to a man, if a man meets another man with his wife with him, he judges the man by the wife. I mean, he judges. Okay, this guy got her. Oh, okay. He judges the man for what he does. You'll hear men say, "What do you do for a living?" We judge each other in that honor and respect code we talk as men. But he also looks at the wife, and he judges how she treats him, the honor she gives him. And a man's world, he kind of bounces off that and says, okay, he's trustworthy. I can listen to him.
When I was reading your chapter, I remembered that about, because you say how good you feel to have me on your arm, to know that this is my wife. It's not a demeaning thing, and that's where the world has lied to us, ladies, and tried to make us feel that it's demeaning, that a man wants to feel proud of his wife or feel like this is my wife, as you said, my woman,
Exactly.
And sex, even, you're not talking about cheap sex. You're talking about someone committed to life with you.
Exactly.
And so sometimes we've also, ladies, we've been taught that for a man to want sex or to even say that is like, oh, that's demeaning. No, it's that he wants to share his life with someone, and that is sexy, that you can be with someone your entire life and still go home to the same person, still enjoy each other and learn each other and be safe with each other.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, God made the whole thing work. I mean, he designed it. If you do it his way, you're going to have a good life, and that's the basics. But the culture is doing everything. Satan is doing everything to tear it completely upside down.
Yes.
And we have the evidence of it in the destruction of people's
Right,
lives.
right. Which is why you need truth, which is why you need Nasty Gets Us Nowhere, Women and Men Succeeding Together. You need to see the lies for what they are. I know I was indoctrinated from the time I was in 5th grade all the way through school. I was indoctrinated with messages that were anti-male, that were against men, that were trying to say that men are the bad guy, the problem, the trouble. We were taught to blame. And as a woman, you can do anything, you can accomplish anything. And yet men were not told those messages. And so we had a whole deficit now, a breakdown, if you will, of kids young men not knowing what their destiny is and feeling less, and women not knowing how to look to men. So.
Yeah, well, someone's got to mentor the kids.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. We've got more we want to share with you, but we've got a lot of great stories of people's lives that have been changed, their marriages, their relationships have been transformed. We want to share with you, as well as a lot of teaching on this area, because this is the area that will make or break the difference in happiness in your life. Happiness is related to relationships, and we cannot live without healthy relationships. When we get back. Do you want to end the war on sadness? Then click the button right there and subscribe.